What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, July 10th, 2018. I hope everybody is having a great day because I'm about to ruin it for you. If you're not having a good day, then maybe it can't get any worse, and you might think this is going to be a good show. But if you're having a great day, be prepared because I'm getting ready to make your day that much worse. So thank you for everybody for joining in. We are live as always on YouTube, and we are live simulcasting as always over on GunChannels.com. If you guys are not familiar with GunChannels, come over and check us out. They're going to put a link out there in the chat over there, and we're going to try to get as many people over to GunChannels as we can. It's a great community for gun lovers and Second Amendment activists and advocates, I guess. We like to talk guns, among other things, but if you guys have a question, there's always someone on the 24-hour lobby chat that you can ask, and it's a great, like I said, it's a great community for people that just want to talk guns as much as we can. Now, obviously, we can't talk guns 24/7. Sometimes the lobbies go down a rabbit hole, but sometimes those are the best ones. So come check us out over there. Thanks to GWebs and all of them for starting that up about 5 years ago. Speaking of gun channels, we've got GWebs is over there. G, I've got you a link over there if you want it. Gizzard Gary, DT, what's going on, guys? Over on the YouTube side. Hopping crowd already. I'll start early. You know, there's always Travis. Travis has got to be first, and he was here about 6 hours ago, it seems like. And he barely beat Ozzy out there. So let's say hey to everybody. If you're out there in the YouTube chat, we can't see you until you say hello. So go ahead and say what's up, where you're from. If you're new to the channel, new to the chat, go ahead and say hey, and we'd love to welcome you. So let's shout out some people out there. You got Midnight Range TM. You got Ozzy's out there. Patriot in the Dark, Semper Fi brother. Gun-loving Grandpa Stanley. What's up, William? D-Tip, John Brown Productions, The Scotsman, Boom Outdoors, Gunpowder. What's up, kiddo? Let's see here. They're talking about watching the Family Feud, D-Tip says, and he said that one of the questions was, name something that gets hard when it gets cold. Someone actually answered his Little Johnson, so there you go. Calaveras 32 Specials out there. What's up, Cal? Let's see here. William says he's got to lock up the shop and be listening on the way home, so you be safe out there. Warsaw Patriot. What's up, Warsaw? Let's see here. MW Tacticals out there and in here. Casino Boss. What's up, boss man? Mad Sexy 45 ACP/22 long rifle. Guys having some serious interest, interesting ways of thinking about his identity. Can't figure out if he's a 45 or a 22. So he says, where are you, Ghost? I am, well, as you can see, guys, you know, Clover has a Clover jet. I have my C-130, so I'm just chilling in my C-130 right now. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm flying over parts unknown. Could be flying over your town right now. 2 live moves out there. Let's see. Leonidas of Spartan, what's going on? Rich White, the 1% is out there. Guitar Man Pete, Zippy's out there. Gizzard Gary, Outsider. Let's see here. Am I missing anybody? Keith Gregory's out there. The Gun Snob. Stormtrooper, what's up, Storm? Keep my eye on you, young man. Keeping my eye on you. Let's see here. Andrew Faulkner's out there. Hottie's out there. Dom's Vibranium Bicep. Wow, that's a cool name. Dom's Vibranium Bicep. Patrick Pew Pew's out there. WB. How late are you? We just started, brother. Alaskan is out there. Georgia Rebels out there. Clover Tax out there. Lead Life, what's going on? All right, so let's, like I said, guys, if you want to ask a question or something, go ahead and tag me in it, and we will, yeah, I got the sniffles. I got the cold, the summer cold, and like sinuses, so it's been an interesting couple days for me. Last night it kicked in. It was not fun. Alaskan Ballistics out there donated to the Homes for Our Troops, which is what we're doing the super chats this month for. It's Homes for Our Troops. Alaskan donated $5 to that. It says hashtag Guard Every School. It's a great thing. Go check out Alaskan's channel. He's going to talk about Guard Every School. It's a really cool thing. But like I said, you feel no obligation whatsoever for super chats. I don't care one way or the other, but if you do, know that the money is going this month of July to Homes for Our Troops. So Gunpowder says, okay, I'm full of rum and Everclear. Make it a good show. I can't guarantee it. I cannot guarantee it. I'm not feeling it, but I think I might be able to push through a little bit. So let's, without further ado, let's go ahead and run through the room real quick. We've got from Ohio, the host of Foreign and Domestic, and he's got a lot of projects going on. The Crazy Scotsman. What's going on, brother?
Staying busy as always, brother. It's a pleasure to be here. Always nice to join in with you good folks. So I always appreciate the invite.
Yeah, what you got going on? You want to plug anything real quick before we get started?
Nothing really to plug this week, other than check out Foreign Domestic this coming Sunday, 9:30 Eastern. Other than that, I'll have a couple of videos hopefully this week coming out if I can get to them. Work's been kind of crazy, but hopefully I can get to a couple videos this week. And don't forget to check out the Reloaders Network too. If you're interested in reloading whatsoever, check that out. Bunch of really good guys set that up to where they can actually give you some more insight and demonstration versus being on YouTube alone. So
awesome. Yeah, go check out Scotsman's channel. It's a great channel. Like I said, the Foreign and Domestic, if you haven't checked this one out and you're just in for a good laugh on Sunday night, you got to go check it out. It's great. So JJ's out there. What's going on? Georgia Rebel says, Ghost, what are your favorite two semi-pistol calibers? Semi-automatic pistol calibers. I'm probably in the minority here. My favorite two calibers are 9mm and 380. I'm not a huge 40. I really don't like 40 at all. I'm not necessarily against 45, but I'm more into concealed carry and stuff. So I'd have to say that my favorite two would be 9 and 380. That's just mine. Let's see here. From South Carolina. If you guys haven't checked it out, the Black Man with a Gun, Kim Blanchard came out with a new episode that this young man was on last night when it came out. Mike Woodland from MW Tactical. What's going on, my man?
Not too much. How's it going? Flying around in the C-130, doing it Batman style.
I was saying that, or it's weird, but if you really want to go funny, I could go with the old CH-46. Got the old CH-46 flying right here, but I think I could go to the yacht. Just chilling in the yacht right here. But no, I'm going to go back to the C-130. So, yeah, just chilling in the C-130 right now. You probably got some little experience with the 130, don't you?
Yeah, I have a lot of experience with the C-130 and the netting seats. Also sleeping on the hood of a Humvee, just trying to stretch out because, I'm 6'5", so everything in the middle is compact.
6'5", so. No, I caught the episode of Black Man with a Gun last night that Kim put out there, and you were talking about proper. So you got anything to plug? I know you got a video that you just pushed out this morning as well. You want to plug something real quick?
Oh, yeah. So for anybody out there looking to get a pair of proper pants, I just did a review on the proper pants that I purchased, and they sent me. So you can go to GunStreamer.com, GunTube.org, YouTube, and check it out. And everybody tell me what you think.
All right, the AC-110, I think, called the Spooky. I don't know about the AC-110. Was it called the Spooky? The C5, I didn't have a whole lot with the C5. The C5 was kind of after I was, right as I was getting out. So we did a lot of our stuff with the 130. And the problem with the great thing about the 130 is it held a lot of stuff. The bad thing with the 130 is just sitting duck up there. It was it is what it is. But most of those cargo planes are sitting ducks up there. From the great state of Texas, my home state, the tactical leprechaun himself, Clover Tack. What is going on, my brother?
Hey, bud. Sound like all them hot days outside working on the course got you down. Maybe.
I felt it yesterday morning. I started getting a little bit of sinuses and all that. By last night, man, it was kicking my tail. I don't know if I thought it would start out allergies. So I took some allergy medicine and nothing that really helped. Took some Sudafed last night. It kind of knocked me out, and woke up this morning feeling a lot better. And then about lunchtime again today, man, it's come back in full force. So it is what it is. I've never had one of these summer colds or whatever you want to call them. It's not fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm not enjoying it at all.
All right.
You doing all right? You got anything you want to plug right now?
No, I'm good.
All right. Before we get going, guys, as you guys know, I like to do some public service announcements. So before we go, indulge me for about 30 seconds, and we're going to kick the first one off.
Hey, Ghost Squad, this is Sky. At Ghost Tactical, we understand the rising tensions across America regarding guns and gun control. It is more important than ever to be vigilant about our Second Amendment rights. We encourage everyone to stay informed and contact your local, state, and federally elected officials to make sure they are hearing your voice. They represent you, and without your input, their votes may be vulnerable to outside influences. We ask that you actively support any gun rights organizations such as Gun Owners of America, Second Amendment Foundation, Firearm Policy Coalition, and even the National Rifle Association. We understand you may not agree with all the politics involved with some of the organizations, but we encourage you to keep up with and support as many as you can.
There you go. There you go. G-Web says he's thumbed it, but why aren't you in here, dude? I sent you a link, so come on in. The water's warm. The water is warm. I sent you an email and on the Gun Channel, so check your links and all that. Anyways, before we get going, guys, I really want to talk about Brett Kavanaugh, and I'm sure everyone kind of knows that this is the nominee for Associate Justice of the Supreme Court that Trump has put out there. It seems to me that he's got a lot of people on the left, for a lot of different reasons, kind of scared about this. But one of the biggest reasons why is he has been very, very vocal on his commitment to the Second Amendment. He previously was on the circuit court that ruled over D.C., and the Heller decision that came out, and then the Heller 2 and Heller 3 and all that, he made sure that he made it very, very clear in his mind, not only do they not have the right to not issue gun permits and all that, but he also was very intimate about making sure that everyone understood that his beliefs is that these rights do not just go towards semi-automatic handguns, that they also go towards semi-automatic rifles. He basically had written a dissent, what they call a minority report after, I think it was Heller 2, it might have been Heller 3, don't get me wrong, I don't quote me on that, but he has been very vocal about his support of the Second Amendment, and that I believe that if there is going to be some laws that are trying to push through at the state or federal level, I do believe if they ever do get up to the Supreme Court that we would have a very much of an ally there. I do want to go through the room and kind of ask what you guys, what's up, Cal? Cal's out there go pulling double duty. What in the world? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, G would have sending me a message. Let's start with Clover. Have you read up on anything about Kavanaugh? What do you think of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, I looked into all three of them a little bit, and then looked in Kavanaugh a little bit more after he was narrowed down. A few things come to mind. Regardless of who Trump would pick, the left was going to freak out. Really didn't matter. He could have picked somebody that Clinton had nominated before, or thought about, or Obama or whatever, and they'd still freak out, right? It's hate Trump year or something, I guess. So you got to kind of push beyond that and look a little deeper. And with Kavanaugh, there's some decisions that's been made and things like that, some things from his past that even the right, particularly with religious freedom stuff, that the right doesn't really necessarily agree with. I kind of find that okay, because if you dig further, you'll find that kind of like Scalia was, he was what you call a textualist, right? He looks at the text of the Constitution. He looks at the text of, when he starts to apply law and that sort of thing. And that's really important, because like we've talked about before, when you're doing that, you're paying attention to the words and what the words actually mean and that sort of thing, rather than interjecting your feelings into it. So I think that's kind of why the right gets hurt a little bit, is because he reads into that, and obviously there's religious freedom, and so he'll kind of go against a Christian or something like that, and then the right freaks out and says, oh, he's anti-religion. No, he's just applying the freedom of religion clause is all he's doing.
Yep.
On another note, as far as the Senate confirmations and you know, even though somebody looks good on the surface, and as far as being a judge, they may be a really good judge, and they may be a textualist or a constitutionalist or whatever. There's some concern that I have. He was tied into, was it Kolansky, or there was another judge that had some sexual harassment stuff going on with him, and Kavanaugh has been tied to that in some ways. Supposedly, allegedly, I should say, not supposedly, allegedly, in some ways. So, you know, do we get back into a Clarence Thomas type issue now, or you know, what's gonna happen with these Senate confirmations? Is the left gonna take that, and it's just gonna be a crap show where they're accusing him of being a sexual harasser? Is he a sexual harasser? I mean, I don't know. Being a judge and being a person are two separate things in a way. So there's some stuff to look out for there too, I think.
You know, I would like to think, and with Trump, you never know, but Trump's not doing this on his own. He's got a team. You would think in today's age that they're going to thoroughly vet these people before they make it to the nominee section. So you would like to think that if there was smoke, if there was something to that he would have made it this far. One would think, but you never know. You never know who's got a video on a cell phone or who's got text messages on a cell phone from 12 years ago. We never know. And I'm sure if there is something out there, it will come out. But I would like to think that they've been thoroughly vetted. As far as what you're talking about with reading the lines in the text of the Constitution, that is what is so important to me for a Supreme Court judge is over the last 50 years, since it's gotten more and more political at the high bench, their political preferences have come in too much, where they're making moral and ethical decisions based on their morals and their ethics instead of the text of the Constitution. Because what people, a lot of people don't understand sometimes is the Supreme Court is not there to legislate. It is there to interpret the Constitution and tell you if this law is constitutional or not. And the fact that we've got someone who seems to go by the letter of the Constitution is wonderful, because there's going to be decisions that he might come down that I might not agree with, and that's okay. But if he is making those decisions based on what he feels the Constitution is saying, then I'm okay with that, as long as they're not making these personal political moves and all that, which I cannot stand and all that. So I'm all for someone that's going to interpret the Constitution, the text of the Constitution, and not their own political beliefs. Mike, you got anything about Kavanaugh that you've heard or need to add?
From the standpoint of being a judge, I mean, just like Clove said, if another president was in there who was a Democrat, the other side would wig out, just like now. Everything's going on. But one thing I can say about the pick is, for anybody out there who is going through a child custody case or whatever, he wrote a dissertation in regards to the father should be held equal to the mom. And by doing that, like I said, I already give him applaud on that one, especially with his stand on the Second Amendment. Right.
Yeah. And we don't have to go into it because that's your personal life, but I understand why. And that is, for the longest time, forever almost. I mean, in order for a mother not to get custody of a child, that person had to be clinically insane or habitual drug. I mean, there had to be some serious issues for a man to even be considered to have custody of a child. And I think that might be changing. And hopefully, if it ever comes down to it, he will help that get pushed through, because there are a lot of fathers that are wonderful parents and deserve to have custody just as much as the mother do. So if not more. So you're right. I like that. And like I said, we don't have to get into that if you don't want to.
Well, you can thank modern feminism and the whole toxic masculinity movement for that too, because there's more and more and more as they push that the sexes are equal, the sexes are equal, the sexes are equal, the more that regulations and law and decisions and things like that are going to change to make them more equal. And it's not going to be in favor of the women sometimes, right?
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. And that's part of any kind of movement, whether it's the gay and lesbian movement or whatever. The more and more and more you talk about it, wanting equal rights, and I don't want this to sound bad or anything, this is against anybody. The more and more you talk about equal rights, sometimes when they actually have equal rights, it backfires a little bit. So you can, get what you ask for sometimes, but what you're asking for in the long run may actually work against you. So, I mean, that happens with everything. So, yeah, you're right, though. Mike, do you want to say something? I heard you come on.
No. I was just saying I totally agree with what Clover said. And matter of fact, what's up, Clover? I didn't get to speak to him earlier.
Scotsman, anything up in Ohio that you've heard differently about Kavanaugh or anything else about the Supreme Court?
No, I haven't heard too much up here. And honestly, I don't know a whole lot about the guy. I haven't had time to research. So I don't have a whole lot to say on that, unfortunately.
Laskin says he's got to go. I want to give a quick shout out to Insight Freedom out there. $5 to the Veteran Fund. It said just stopping in and dropping a little money for our vets. So thank you, man. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, it's always interesting when it comes time for Supreme Court appointees or nominees because it's going to go through the whole Senate confirmation. They're going to drag up anything and everything. I would like to think that we've got the numbers. Maybe it gets pushed through before. I know that he's trying to get this obviously done well before midterm elections. Will this play a part in the midterm election cycle? Very well could. I don't know. Tack Daddy's out there. I don't know. He's trolling about something. I don't know what he was talking about, Pornhub or something. Anyways, you got something to say, Kevin? Jump in, baby. I gave you a link, so come on in. But no, I think that when you're talking about Supreme Court justices, the good thing about them is you have a record. I'm assuming if they're going to get the Supreme Court, they've been on some circuit level or something, state Supreme Courts and all that. So you kind of have a history of decisions where they might be able to say I'm this, or this, but you'll be able to see that. Excuse me, to be the coughing all guys here. The decisions that they pass down throughout their history. So it'll be very interesting to see. I do like the fact that the left is absolutely freaking out with this nominee. So that tells me that if you're a conservative, if you're a Republican, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're not a left or a liberal or whatever you want to call yourself over there, if you're a conservative and the liberals are going crazy with this nomination, then that tells me that this guy must be doing something right. So we'll see what happens. Do we have anything else we want to talk about this guy, or do we want to move on?
Well, when you asked about the elections, and I think it's going to have an impact. And the reason I think it's going to have an impact, I think that it was a pretty good tactical move on the part of Trump, and not necessarily Trump, but let's face it, advisors and handlers and whatever, sure, to roll this out the way they have. They could have held off. They could have held off a few months and then dropped some names, and then held off a few months and whittled that down, and then maybe the first of next year, right after elections, said, okay, we're going to wait and we're going to see what happens, and then let them go through the confirmation or whatever. Then I think rolling it out the way that they have perpetuated this thing that the Democrats seem to be on, which is the only platform they have is we hate Trump. And it's right. it's really gotten old on a majority of people, and it's turned a lot of people off. So I think because of that, this is just going to perpetuate that, make it even a worse situation for the Democrats come election time.
Well, and I think that you can look at in some of the states that had Democratic primaries in the last month, there were a lot of people that were I would say the favorites going into the primaries that were vocally anti-Trump. But I think that you saw a lot of upsets in those Democratic primaries for people that may not be as vocal about the anti-Trump. So I think people are starting to get maybe a little upset or tired of it.
You're right. But it's a little bit worse. I mean, that's simplifying it a little bit, because what has happened is in the Democrat primaries, you have the crazy, the Bernie, left of Bernie people are the ones that are winning. They're doubling down on the opposite direction of when Trump won, all of those states that flipped said they wanted. All of those blue collar, workers and those blue collar people. They all went Republican because Hillary and all of that was just too crazy. They're taking it even crazier now. So I think that's even more people long term they're going to lose.
I wanted to give a shout out to Brett Winkles out there, Rob C's out there, Moon Foods out there. What's up, Moon? And then apparently Tack saying that his phone has been confiscated. It's not really Kevin talking on the chat, so whatever. Yeah, they're talking about out here about everyone getting sick. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's kicking me in my ass. I'm not gonna lie. It's not fun. I don't get sick very often either. That's the thing is I haven't gotten sick much in the last 20 years, but man, it's kicking me in the tail. Yeah, they're saying that Hillary's going batshit crazy. She's been batshit crazy, guys, in case y'all haven't noticed that. She's been batshit crazy since the 80s when she was the first lady of Arkansas. I didn't live here back then, but all right, so I'm getting a Facebook message now. I want to read this out because someone's trying to play this off. I doubt it very seriously. Kevin says, Tack is driving. We're listening to what I have no idea. So I told you, this is going to be a shitty show, guys. If you were having a good day ahead of time, I'm going to do everything I can to ruin it for you. So anyways, before we get going, my second public service announcement real quick, guys. And then we'll move on to the fun stuff. So here we go.
Hey Ghost Squad, this is Sky. We here at Ghost Tactical would like to continue the trend of becoming more involved in any gun safety and training. We encourage everyone, no matter your skill level, to continuously look for training in your local area. We think that taking a gun safety course every other year is important. We also believe that taking classes and training for self-defense and home defense are extremely important. Make sure to go looking for classes and training opportunities when you can. This not only helps you become more proficient with your firearm, but it helps support your local instructors and Second Amendment community as a whole. Back to you, Ghost.
Right on, right on, right on. Let's see here. Let's check the gun channel side. They're having trouble with the chat over there. I know they're talking about having to refresh the chat over there. You had to do that, but I go down to the bottom right in the chat room and I bring that little window up and it refreshes automatically. So if you guys are looking to do that, I have had no problems with the little small chat window over there. So that's what you might want to do. Let's see here. Brent says that's the batshit truth about Hillary being batshit crazy. Yeah. I don't even want to know what y'all are talking about. I'm going to skip over because I'm not sure what frying lumpia is. I don't know. I'm sure it's some kind of a food, but I'm going to D-Temp says a summer Ebola epidemic must be going around. Southpaw, what's up? Southpaw Night Strike, what's up, yo? Can we get 6 more clicks? Yeah, let's get 6 more clicks. All right, so we're gonna have some fun tonight. Like I said, I'm not feeling great, so I didn't want to do too much in depth because I don't want to think too much because I'm already hindered enough when it comes to brain power. So I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about favorite guns. And what we're going to do with this is instead of doing like a top 5 or a top 10, we're just going to kind of go through each caliber and say, if you have a 9mm handgun, what would be your favorite gun? Not platform. Don't say Glock. Don't say Beretta. Don't say SIG. I want it specific. And I want to try to get a little bit up about why you think that's your favorite gun. So, and we might not go through every single caliber. We're just going to jump through the popular ones. But we'll start with 9mm. And because I think that this is I would say the semi-autos, 9mm and 45 are probably going to be 2 that are highly contested and all that. But let's start with the 9mm. Let's go Scotsman. If you had to pick one gun for a 9mm, what would yours be?
It's probably not going to be a surprise for too many people, but CZ Shadow 2. And the reason I picked that gun, honestly, it is probably one of the most smoothest shooting guns as far as recoil, trigger, reset, all of it put together. And you point it, it hits point of impact every time.
Yeah, and I know that I know that you're a big Glock guy, so I am a little surprised that you didn't pick a Glock. So, with the upset from Scott Smith, he said CZ. I think you actually might throw up a little bit if you had to pick a Glock.
Yeah, I probably would.
Mike, favorite 9mm gun?
I'll have to go with the Smith & Wesson M&P.
Just a straight M&P, full size?
Full size.
I like it. I like it. Is there a reason why you choose that one in particular?
For one, it feels comfortable in my hand. Number two, the simplicity of the functions, and just the well balanced of it overall. You know, so it's not the smoothest gun I've ever shot, but it is one that I'm very comfortable with.
Right, right. Clover Tack, 9mm, favorite gun in the 9mm caliber. I know it's a tough one. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Nate?
Is this personal or overall? Because I've had to,
this is yours. If you could only have one gun chamber in 9mm.
Okay, that makes it easy. Okay, that makes it easy.
Okay, what would you choose? Not what you say is the best. What's your favorite 9mm handgun?
But I can only have one, and chambered in 9mm. Got it. That makes it easy. Glock 17.
Okay. Yep. For me, this actually was a very big toss-up between the Glock 19 and the Beretta 92. And I would probably, surprisingly, I think it will surprise a lot of people. It might probably surprise Clover. I'm going to go with the Glock 19, in particular the Glock 19 Generation 3. I love the Gen 3, but I really thought that the 92 would probably win if I had to, but the more and more I thought about it, for me, it's hard to carry a 92. It's a little bit bigger, and I'm not the biggest guy. I can carry my 19.
Yeah.
So that's probably the 19 versus the 92.
Think of it. If you're able to narrow it down, then what you got, and you say, well, that's the only one. Then you got to think about, okay, what if it's a post-apocalyptic type scenario? Right. Let's go down that road for a minute. And with a Glock, you take any other Glock 19, Glock 17,
you can find parts.
You swap parts around. It works. You take it apart with basically a screwdriver. Yeah, I mean, just it's easy, and not even a screwdriver, a punch would do it, or a stick if it was strong enough.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the great thing about Glocks. And I know we're talking Glocks here, so we might lose Scotsman here. He might implode. But no, that's one good thing about Glocks is you can find parts from other Glock 19s, and they're going to work. So let's kind of check out what the chat's saying. Brett says the 92 FS, love the 92. Anything CZ75 type is what Leonidas says. Warsaw's giving me being a little den mother out there, and he's basically saying to go take a hot shower and take an hour of steam and get my crud out. Warsaw saying a CZ75B. D-Tip says he's been jonesing for the HK P30. Jake out there says SIG P229 stainless elite. Tack Daddy says do a bracket. Skip over that one. Guitar Man says Taurus PT92, which in simplest terms is basically a Beretta 92. Scott says the CZP01. I'm surprised that hasn't come up more, honestly. The P09. Outsider says he's decidedly not a Glock fan, but he loves his M&P 2.0. The 2.0 is pretty sweet. Warsaw says he also loves the 92s. Rob C's says G19 Gen 3. Nate says, what up? What up, yo? Troll Daddy says, don't make him crash. Patrick Pew Pew says the 92s. Brent Winkle 9mm tube and metal rod to slam into it. Let's see here. PT92. And Warsaw says never liked Glocks. Well, yeah. That's understandable. Do we want to do 40 or do you want to go straight to 45, guys? Because I could really care less about the 40, but if that's something you guys want to talk about, we can talk about 40.
40 doesn't really regard any attention, so let's just go straight to 45.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Pass
on the 40. G's rolling over in his bed right now going, what the hell? So we'll talk 45 ACP. If you had one gun, your favorite 45, let's start with Clover this time. Clover, what say you?
Ruger P90.
Interesting. Mike.
Well, you won't believe this if I tell you, but I never shot a 45 before.
Really?
Yeah, never shot a 45. So I would honestly say if I had to shoot one, I would like to try it in a 1911.
Okay, just a regular 1911.
Yeah, regular 1911.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge 1911 fan, but they are great, and you're a bigger guy, so they'll probably feel better in your hand than it would in mine. I got kind of a smaller hand, so you'd probably enjoy the 1911 more than I would. But yeah, Scotsman, what say you about the 45?
Well, 1911 is a great platform. It's tried and true. But I like a little bit more capacity, and CZ97B will hold 10 rounds of 45, and it's a pretty smooth shooting gun too. So I'd have to go with CZ97B.
There you go. I'm going to go with a gun that might be a little controversial. Just because of the manufacturer, and I know a lot of people are hating on them right now, and I don't blame you, but we need to remember also, just because their CEO makes stupid decisions doesn't mean that the quality of the guns aren't very good. I'm going to go with the Springfield Armory, the XDM. I like the XDM, and Chamberlain 45 it feels really, really good. And there's a lot of people out in the IDPA world that shoot the XDM and all that, and I've got to shoot it several times, and I like the way it feels. So I know that Springfield's out there that's, like I said, you can question their politics and all that, but the quality of their guns aren't bad. So I really like the I know that's going to be probably a little bit out there, but I like the Springfield XDM. What are you going to say, Mike?
Now I was going to say don't say high point, because when you took that long pause, I thought you was going to say high point.
No. SIG makes a quality product, and if I was gonna go 1911, I'd probably go a SIG Range Officer. Sorry, that's Springfield. Sorry. Sorry, but SIG does make a quality 1911 too.
What is the what is it? The 220? Is that Chamberlain 45 also?
Yeah.
I've shot one of those. That's not a bad feeling gun, and I'm not a
220, 227. Hell, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, but yeah, 45. We had some different ones out there, and no Glocks in that one. So go figure, no Glocks in that one. I tell you what, let's go with. Let's stay in the handgun, but let's go revolver a little bit. We can go revolver. Let's go 357 mag. Let's go your favorite 357. Let's start with Scotsman.
Smith & Wesson Model 19.
Smith & Wesson Model 19. There you go. Mike, what you got?
Honestly speaking, I would probably say the Taurus Model 65.
Very nice.
Yeah, I only say that because I shot that one before and I really liked it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Clover, what say you?
You know, even though I dream of that SAR SR38 every single night, you know, going back to the can only have one 686 Performance Center.
Yeah. You shot that at SHOT Show at Range Day, did you not?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
How'd that go for you? Yeah.
It was sweet. But I mean, I'm more of a, I can afford the SAR. You know what I mean?
Sure. I have not shot a 686. I tell you the one that I have shot, and I think for my purposes that I would probably use it for, once again, I'm going to think a little outside the box for a specific reason, but the Ruger LCRX. I've shot that many times. I like the way it feels. It's a great little CCW gun. So I'm going to go with, and I said I know there's a lot of them out there that are great, but for my purposes, I would probably use them for. I would go with the LCRX, which is, I enjoy that gun. Let's go up here and check out and see what the crew is saying out here. 1911's gotten a lot of love. Night Strike's questioning you, Mike. Said never shot a 45.
Yeah, he invited me to come out there down to him because he lives out in Charleston.
Don't do it. Not if you want to live. I'm just kidding.
You don't want to do that because there's one of two issues with that. Either you put yourself at risk, or his 1911 is not accurate enough to be worth shooting anyway.
Yeah, and he'll probably just say that it's you and not the gun, because that's how he is. And then he'll try to shoot it, and he'll mess up really bad too, and then he'll blame the gun.
And that sounds bad, but I mean,
that's Night Strike.
That's real. That is real. Let's see here. They were talking earlier. Oh, Beaverwood Outdoors says he would go with a High Point or a Sky. Baby Deagle, Patrick Pew Pew says. Let's see here. Glock 21. Nate says Glock 21. D-Tip says the Sig Nighthawk 1911. Leonidas says the FNX 45 TAC. Love me some 1911s. The CZ 97 Bravo. Orcel says SIGs are overpriced. Leonidas says I carry G30, so he digs that one. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? Then we're going to get down into the revolvers. And the 686 is getting all this love. 627 is getting some love. Let's see here. The 586 L Comp, Ruger SP 101. Calavera says the Colt 357 Trooper, the 627 Pro. Shockingly, no one says the Rhino. Yeah. Not saying that anything's wrong, but these are talking about our favorites. So let's go with the 44 mag now. If we're going to go 44 mag, you could pick one. What would you go with? Let's start with Scotsman, 44 mag.
Going Smith & Wesson again, gentlemen, model 29. The Dirty Harry gun. You can't go wrong. I love them. I got 3 of them, and I plan on buying more.
There you go. There you go. Mike.
Yeah, I was going to agree with that one, the Dirty Harry gun.
Yeah, yeah. Clover. Clover might have stepped away for a second.
Yeah, I did. What was the?
Oh yeah, sorry. 44 mag. 44 mag. We got 2 votes for the Model 29. What say you for the 44
mag? Good one.
Yeah, yeah. Some good ones out there.
I could have anyone I want.
Anyone you want.
You know, honestly, I will stay with my stainless Ruger Red Hawk.
Interesting.
I actually bought it over a Smith & Wesson years ago. I had an old timer tell me that, you know, you would get years, and especially if you shot light loads in it or lighter loads, you would get years and years and years and years out of it, most likely without any type of service, as opposed to Smith & Wesson. And so far, that's held true. So I would probably stick with it, honestly.
Okay. A little surprising. But I want to say this. here's why it's surprising, is because I would probably, if you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I probably would have picked the Model 29 because it is Dirty Harry's gun. I actually got to a chance to shoot the Red Hawk about 2 weeks ago at the range. An old timer had one, and that thing was a bad mamma jamma. So I'm going to say the Red Hawk also, just because I've shot it lately and loved it. I love the feel of it, and that thing will pack a punch for sure. So I'm going to go with the Red Hawk also, just because my latest.
To me, it's a little sexier than the Smith & Wesson too.
I don't know. I tell you what's a sexy one. This guy had the Red Hawk, but
no way.
What's that?
There's no way it's sexier than Model 29.
Yeah,
Don't
but
get me wrong.
is your sexy subjective though? That's the only.
No.
But he's talking about physically sexy, because there's a lot of smoothness and everything else to the design of the Red Hawk, where there's a lot of edges and lines and stuff in that Smith & Wesson.
Don't get me wrong. The Rugers are nice. They're a fantastic gun, absolutely fantastic gun. But if you're going on sexy, 29 takes it every day.
I think you're letting the whole Dirty Harry emotions get to you. But okay.
I'll tell you, was one that I shot in about a month or so ago, maybe more than that, 2 months ago, that I actually like the looks of it. It's more modern. But have you guys ever shot or seen the Taurus Ultralight? It's a pretty cool looking little gun. It's kind of blacked out a little bit, kind of tactical looking, if you want to call it that. But I got to shoot one at the range not too long ago, and it was pretty cool. It wasn't the greatest gun in the world. I wouldn't put it up there with some of the others, but it looks really, really cool. So talking about being sexy is in the eye of the beholder. If you like the modern look and all that, that Taurus Ultralight's a pretty badass looking revolver. Let's see here what they're all saying. They're saying the 500 Magnum 500 is the new 44. Talking the 629. Let's see here. Local shop has a Super Blackhawk in 30. The world. Calavera says a crazy Scotsman does 44 auto mag count as 44 mag. LOL. LOL. Some people like bigger chicks. I'm not sure where that came from, but I'm not going to touch it. Rugers are nice, but they're never sexy, Rich White says, Clover. Rugers are never sexy. Sparky.
He's got an inherent Ruger bias, though, so that negates his opinion. If he didn't hate Ruger as a whole, might be different.
That's right. Gunpowder has your back. She said that Rugers are totally sexy. I'm sorry about that, Dot.
She got to shoot that one, I think.
Oh, did she?
I think so.
Let's see here. All right, so let's go. I was thinking about going maybe some rifles. What do you guys say? If you had a chance to take one AR-15 chambered in 223/556, AR platform chambered in 223, what would be your preference? Clover Tack, we'll start with you.
Well, I'd pass. I don't know how to answer that.
Well, I tell you what. Let's just do a different on this one. We'll take an AR platform. Okay, let's do this. If you can have one AR platform, what would you have it chambered in? How about that?
300 blackout. Period. Right in the story. Done.
All right. Yeah. Let's do that. Mike, AR platform. What would you have it chambered in? You could only have one AR.
Yeah, I'll stick with 5.56.
Okay. All right, Scotsman.
I'd have to go 308.
Interesting. I'm going to stay with the 5.56 as well. Love that. I'm really thinking about, and Clover and I've had many discussions. The next one's going to probably be a 300 blackout that I do, but I'm really interested in that round. But for right now, I have to stay with 5.56. I think more because if you are in that shit hit the fan, the 5.56 ammo is probably going to be a little bit more easily ready to find than maybe some of the blackout or the 450, 458 SOCOM or something like that. 308 obviously would be around and all that, but I would still go 5.56. I think that it's a pretty good round. It's a very versatile round. Calavera says the AR-10 and 308. That's a pretty good one. Let's see here. 556 getting some love. 458 SOCOM says, scrolling down. Sorry about that. Leonidas says 458 SOCOM. Count if I think that's a misspell there. A 20-inch. Rick Nethery says a 20-inch 556, 1-in-8 twist. HK 416. He wants that rifle. His completed AR is 2545 sharps, and he's working on a 308. Says Cal. Okay, they're fish break with the old 2545 sharps. Never mind. I don't want to put you down because it's not a bad platform. It's just every time I see the sharps, I have to think of Braden. Let's see here. AR-10 and 308 built it itself. Says Outsider. That's a pretty good one. All right, so we're gonna go 308 now. If just a little 308 rifle, what would be your favorite 308 rifle? Let's start. Who we start with last time? Clovers. Let's start with Scotsman this time. Favorite 308 rifle?
I'd have to go with like the HK or the clones of the HK, like the FAL and all that. They're an excellent rifle. They're very smooth shooting. You can't reload the brass because it tears the brass up. But other than that, they're an excellent platform and excellent rifle.
There you go. Mike, 308 rifles.
I'm a big Remington fan when it comes to 308, but I'm going to say the Ruger precision rifle on this one.
Okay. Clover.
It's tough when you don't specify, when the platform's not specified.
No, I understand that. that.
But I would go right arm of the free world, man. FAL.
There you go. I'm going to go, just because it's to the test of time, I'm going to go the M1A1, the Springfield M1A1. Tried, true, tested, law enforcement, military. It's kind of been there, done that. So I know there's a lot better ones out there. There's a lot more technological advances and all that. But the M1A1, I kind of like that one. I kind of like that a lot. So, hey, thanks, David. Yeah, I got the crud. So I apologize if I'm sniffing and all that. I apologize. My wife told me just to not do the show tonight. I said, hell no. Hell no. Hell to the no. I'm going to do the show. But I do feel like shit. So let's see here. Let's go with one more, and then we're going to kind of start closing shop up here. Just because there's so many good ones out there. Let's go to 30-06. What do you guys think of the best 30-aughts? Sorry. Oh, sorry. So let's start with Clover this time.
1903.
Okay. The Springfield 1903, huh? All right. Mike.
I'll go with a Browning. Let's say the I don't know the exact model number of it, but the Browning. That's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Bolt gun. What about the bolt gun, Mike?
Yeah, the bolt one.
Yeah, X bolt maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, Scotsman 30-06.
M1 Garand, baby.
Damn it. I was hoping you weren't going to take it. That's mine is the Grand. Garand, whatever you want to call it. M1 Grand. Like I said, there might be better ones out there, but historically, that would definitely be. And I don't think you can go wrong with the 1903. I mean, you're talking historical guns that have stood the test of time. Someone out there said that the Grand, what did it say? Something about Hitler. It killed Hitler's army. So, yeah, the Grand that would be my choice as well. Like I said, there are a lot of other ones out there, obviously, and we're not talking these are the best ones. These are just our favorites in these platforms. So, Like I said, I know that I am going to cut a little bit short tonight. Like I said, I'm feeling like absolute piss. But before we get going tonight, I do want to do a giveaway. All right. So basically what we're going to do is, you've heard me talk about it before, but this is a holster. It's from We the People Holsters, and I think it's a really awesome one. It's got the Constitution and all that. So I'm carrying it with my shield right now. And but I really like the way this holster is. It feels, it's very slim, very lightweight. And what I want to do is for people that might want to carry a holster that has the Constitution written on it, I'd love to give you one. So we're going to do a giveaway, but it's going to be a little bit different of a giveaway. We're not going to ask a question and have you answer it right here. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask a question. It's a multi-part question, and you're going to have to email me the answer. And the first person that emails the correct answers, because there's multiple parts to it, will get one. And just let me know when you email the answers, and I'll let you know if you want it. Then I'll ask you what kind of gun you want it for. And if they have a holster for that gun, I will most definitely get that for you and have them send it to you. So when you win, I'll ask you for your address, what kind of gun and all that. And so when I order it through We the People, I'll just have them ship it to you directly. So the question is, and if you're on the panel, you can most definitely do this as well, because I'm not going to give the answer out there. I know the answer, and you might know the answer also. But you might do a little bit of research. So we're going to email the email the answers to live@ghosttactical.us. Live@ghosttactical.us will be where you email the answers for. So let's see here. There's my Glock 18 over there on the Gun Channel side. So on the Gun Channel side and on the YouTube side. And if you're watching this in replay, don't give up. Go ahead, and if you want to get in there, go ahead and get in there, because you never know. It might take a while for someone to answer the correct answer. Remember, it is a multiple answered question. Chris Kyle, we all know Chris Kyle, the famous legendary sniper from American Sniper that tragically was killed by another veteran, suffered from PTSD. But everyone knows who Chris Kyle is. Chris Kyle's most famous shot was a 1.2 mile shot. The question is, the first part of the question is, what? No, don't answer it out in the chat, guys. Don't answer it out in the chat. It's, email this, because I'm not going to do it through the chat. It's got to be an email. The first part is, what caliber was that shot that was taken? 1.2 mile shot. What caliber did he use? And 2, what was the make and model of the rifle that was used to take that shot? Chris Kyle, 1.2 mile shot. What was the caliber and what was the make and model of the rifle? So you guys do that. You can, hey, Night Strike will be there in a minute. If you guys want to try to get a We the People holster, this one right here, go ahead and email your answers to live@ghosttactical.us. I'm going to go strictly by the timestamp. Whoever I get the right answer from first is going to win it. And when I get the right answer, I'll email you and we'll get information swapped and all that good stuff. So I do want to get out there and I'll buy you guys a holster for whatever gun, as long as they make it and all that. And yes, that was one hell of a funeral, HBO Matt says.
Now that shot, was that the one where he took out the sniper on the roof?
I don't think that one was. I don't think that was the 1.2 mile shot. I might be mistaken.
I know that was a long one, because I know in the book he talks about he didn't even. I mean, he winged it. He just guessed, and he was like surprised when the dude fell off the roof. He was like, "Holy crap, I hit him."
I don't know. I mean, that was a very, very long shot. I don't know if that other sniper was the 1.2 mile shot or not. It very well could have been.
By the way, for those that are out there, I know the movie came out, or whatever. The movie does not do the book justice at all. Go get the book, get it on audio tape, or read it, or whatever. It's phenomenal. The stories in there and stuff and it's done. It's kind of funny. Some of the stuff you get in the book over there.
And there's so many stories that should have probably been in the movie, but it would have been a 6-hour long movie. I mean, it was
the story where they were crossing the river or whatever it was with you remember that one? They were using the floaty balls that was hilarious, man. I was rolling while I was reading that.
There was I tell you another one, and you and I have talked. We've all talked about this before. And Chris Kyle, obviously, he's a legend. You know, I mean, he is legend. Over 160 confirmed kills. I mean, and all that. But I'll tell you another one, talking about heroes. If you want to go read a book and all that, Marcos Luttrell, who was the lone survivor, whose the movie was made on him. Marcos Luttrell. I mean, you're talking about these guys. Go read these books. They're fabulous books.
The movie doesn't do justice to the book there either.
No, in the movie, I thought that movie was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Both of those movies are pretty well done. Right. But the book is just so more in depth and detailed.
And if you have a weak stomach, may not be the book for you in some areas. Just be willing to skip some areas because they do go into detail on some of the stuff that happened. And war is hell. I mean, obviously, but yeah, if you have a weak stomach, there might be a section or two that you might want to skip over. But yeah, it was those two books. Like I said, they're great movies. And if nothing else, the movies are great to stay on their own. But if you really want to go and find some great stuff out about Marcos Luttrell and Chris Kyle, great books, great men, great heroes for the U.S. But we're going to get back to the trivia question. Chris Kyle's famous 1.2 mile shot. The first part of the question is what caliber was it? The second part of the question is what was the make and model of the rifle? So go ahead and email your answers to live@ghosttactical.us for your chance to win a We the People holster, which is the great holsters and all that. So I know that Hit or Miss just kicked on. I feel like absolute shit. So I'm going to let Night Strike carry it home tonight. Let's go through the room real quick. Scotsman, you want to plug anything and all that stuff?
No, just thank you. I already plugged at the beginning, but thank you very much for having me as always. Much appreciated, brother.
Hey, no worries. Mike, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is check out the product review I did on the proper kinetic pants on GunStreamer, GunTube, and YouTube. Donate to the GoFundMe. I just started a Patreon. If you want to check out the Patreon page I got, it's M_W Tactical. And at the same time, come out, support that Aiming for the Truth event and get a raffle ticket. Go to m-wtactical.com/raffle and purchase your ticket to get a Bushnell or Leopold scope.
There you go. And there's some awesome scopes, man, for $20 or $30. You can't beat the scopes, man.
Exactly.
I think one's 20 and one's 30. Is that correct?
One's 30, the other's 50.
Okay, 30 and 50. I knew it was still 30 and 50. You're talking $200, $250 plus scope. So yeah, you're definitely getting a good deal on those. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here, guys. I'm wiping my nose. I apologize. Clover, what you got going on, man?
I'm still working on lining out scheduling interviews for both the Wednesdays and the Friday shows. So bear with me on that. They may be kind of maybe weak the next couple of weeks on those shows till that kind of kicks in and gets going. But once it is, I think it's gonna make for some interesting watching and listening. And then we'll plug Gun Gals. Go over and hit up the Gun Gals channel. They did their first show on the new channel last Sunday, a couple days ago, and they've got things rolling and trying to get all the branding done and reach out to the various platforms and just kind of shake things up with what they're doing over there. So go check them out, Gun Gals.
Awesome. All right, we've had a bunch of people already that have sent in their answers. I'm going to go for the first one. Then was I'm not going to say the names because they get it wrong. This one says 300 wing and a Remington 700. That is not correct. Another one says Macmillan TAC 338 and 300 Win Mag. That is not correct. And the winner is Leonidas of Spartan with the Macmillan TAC 338 and 338 Lapua was the caliber, not 300 Win. 338 Lapua and a Mac TAC 338. was the winner. So Leonidas of Spartan, you are the winner of the We the People holster. I'll email you here in just a bit and get your address and what kind of gun. And assuming that they have the holster and whatever gun that you want, then I'll get that on order for you and they'll have them ship it directly to you. But Leonidas, congratulations, my friend. The 338 Lapua and the TAC 338 from McMillan. And they actually, I was reading something about that. They actually had to custom make this rifle from scratch. And he went through exactly what he wanted from every single detail. And it took him a while to make this rifle. And obviously they did a great job because you hit anything at 1.2 miles is pretty damn good. So Chris Kyle, the winner of the We the People holster is Leonidas of Spartan. So congratulations to everybody out there that tried. The first two beat you, but they weren't correct. So I will say that his first rifle that he got his first confirmed kill was a 300 win. But the 1.2 mile shot was 338 Lapua on the McMillan. So there you go, guys. Thank you, as always, for watching. I apologize for this being a pretty crappy show. I'm not feeling well at all. I'm lucky I got through it, but I want to thank my panel for picking me up. I want to thank, as always, my viewers out there. You guys make it worthwhile. I want to give a shout-out to Molly Cat as our newest member of the Ghost Squad on Patreon. She's joined up in the last week since the last show. A special shout out to Molly. So thank you, dear. And thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to all my supporters on YouTube, on GunChannels. We're also on GunStreamer, UGEtube, GunTube.org, PodBean, Stitcher, iTunes. We're basically anywhere that we can basically pimp ourselves out to. So if you're on any of those platforms, go ahead and check us out. Go check out all the people on my panelists, Scotsman, MW Tactical, and CloverTac on all of theirs. They've probably got multiple platforms that they're on as well. So go check them out. Go support as many as you can. Turn on your cameras if you want to be part of the solution. We need all the voices we can get right now. So if you're even thinking about it, please turn the camera on and become part of the community. Go check out Hit or Miss right now. On the YouTube side, it's Night Strike 1 as a channel. On the Gun Channel side, it's Hit or Miss. Go check out Night Strike and Smeggy and all those guys. Are be hanging out, talking God only knows what. I mean, if you want to talk about going down some rabbit holes, go check out Night Strike. And make sure you end your day tonight with the Daily Gun Show at midnight Eastern. The Daily Gun Show is a channel on both Gun Channels and YouTube, but go check it out with G Webbs, Angelina, and Gary, and all those guys. They'll be doing their Daily Gun Show tonight. So I think Wednesday, tomorrow night, tonight is Tuesday, which would be 2-way Tuesday. Tomorrow night for them, I think, is when they have the Instagram showdown, which is always fun. CloverTax got his chat tomorrow at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Go check him out. Go check out all the people on the Gun Channel side because they're really putting some great quality out there. Go check out Scotsman, NW Tactical, and CloverTac. I'm rambling on because I'm medicated, highly medicated, and I don't know where the hell I am right now, actually. So, guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you soon. Semper Fi.